What's up, Travel Chronicles? It's 2024, a little recap here at the end of the year. Just some things I wanted to get in because there's some stuff going on. Crazy stuff happening right now. I think when I left off, we kind of talked about the election a little bit. So the way that ended up was Donald Trump won. I'm not going to say in a landslide because it was like 54 to 46 or 52 to 48, something like that. But he won a majority of the votes, provided that California's actually done counting here as we close in on Christmas. The states, it was a clear demarcation that you could see. The states where there were no voter ID requirements and the tracking of ballots to certain people was not very strict, Democrat. Where you had to present an ID, they issued a ballot to you based on that. Those states were Republicans. So, and he did get Michigan. I believe Wisconsin ended up going for Trump, and Pennsylvania and Georgia. Like, he got all of those swing states. So it wasn't. So that from that side, it was like a landslide. And the election cycle was weird. I don't remember which part I left off on, but Biden and Trump debated before the nominations were finalized, which you will never see that again. You will never see that again. You're going to have to get through the nomination process for sure, 100% now, before you debate. If you're a candidate. If you don't, you're dumb. You're dumb. Thinking it's just going to be you. Because they can get you at any time now. They showed that. They didn't announce Kamala as a replacement until after the Republican convention. So the Republicans, they were smart about it. They just kind of spoke to the Biden White House, and all the people involved. So that included her. It didn't exclude him. They didn't concentrate on just him. It was that whole regime. Once they got through that, then Biden and Harris did debate one time, and then Trump was like, nah, I'm good. I don't need to do this anymore. And I don't know if she wanted to or not, but they handled interviews with her really oddly, saying that, stuff was heavily edited. She picked Tim Walz as her running mate, and I saw a funny meme where it was Obama picking Biden as his vice president. He goes, I need a vice president that's dumber than me, right? And then Biden picked Harris as his vice president. He goes, I need a VP that's dumber than me. And then Harris picked Walz, and she's going, I need a VP that's dumber than me. Like, it just kind of kept stepping down. And it was very fitting in a way because, I think Biden had a lot of, political acumen in 2008, where he had run for president before him. He had kind of thrown his hat in the ring a couple of times, and wasn't a completely invalid. Although they did bring up some things when they were trying to cut him out of the primaries of why he shouldn't be president. That just kind of disappeared 12 years later. But at that time, he made sense as a kid. He kind of came up. He was, enthusiastic, well-spoken, and spent a lot of time. At this point in his career, he's showing signs of, dementia. He's not very well-spoken at all, and that's if you can remember what topic he's talking about. So, them cutting him loose made a lot of sense, from a human being standpoint. From a political standpoint, I don't know if it made much sense. I think they kind of screwed themselves over. But what we set up for is in 2028 to have, just kind of a blank slate. It's going to be somebody new. I don't think Harris has a shot. She way overspent even on what she had raised. So kind of impressive, but just I don't think she was a great candidate in the first place. But they were kind of tied to her after Biden had raised all the money being the candidate, because she was the VP candidate at the time. They could just transfer the funds to her. If they brought somebody else who knew, then they had to start over from scratch. So it was just a weird situation. The other misstep I think she had was picking Walz and not Shapiro, because the Democrats had kind of hung on to this idea of keeping these the Free Palestine voters happy. And if she picks Shapiro, well, he's Jewish. So it's almost like they just commit to losing that portion of the vote. That portion of the vote is so far left, like I'm not sure what their option was going to do. Like they weren't going to come over the top of Harris and vote for Trump. It would have had to have gone to like a third party or something else, even further down ballot. Yeah, I'm not sure what the option was, but Shapiro would have definitely been a better VP candidate. But the Democrats have a lot to work out on that side, with their transgender ideologies and the Free Palestine ideology. They got to figure out how many people that actually accounts for, and whether they want to appeal to that group or just cut bait with them and say no, we're going to go with the best candidate and try to carry the state of Pennsylvania. That could be pretty important. They picked the guy that they're going to get Minnesota no matter what. Kind of pointless, but anyway, that was the election. So now Trump's going to be president again. That'll be interesting. He did survive an assassination attempt, and then another, attempted assassination where the guy was coming in. He's going to shoot him, but he never got close to him. So, Godspeed. Good luck. I hope he sticks around for the 4 years. Okay. After that, then we had some crazy stuff happen with vehicles. Kind of a down month there. October leading into the election for me. I had to deal with trying to replace a car. My daughter was hit. Finally got that taken care of. Then Ohio University Bobcats won the MAC championship. Let's go. They're playing in a bowl game Friday. I got some other stuff going on Friday, so I won't be able to watch, unfortunately. Maybe I'll record it and watch it later, but then our coach left, so that kind of sucks. I'm not sure if I'm back on a down slope again or not. Maybe. Mother-in-law's having surgery beginning of next week. She's going to be staying with us for a month or so, maybe longer. So I just hope the surgery goes well. There's no issues. And then, the CEO of United Healthcare Systems or United Healthcare Group got shot in New York City on December the 4th. In what appeared to be just a straight up assassination attempt. There's a video of a guy coming up with a gun, just shoots him right in the back, and the gun's got a silencer on. There's some rando standing there, next to the guy that gets shot. Guy shoots him 3 times and then just kind of runs off of the screen. And there's a video clip circulating. Now, there's been a lot of stuff come out since then that makes the whole thing seem very odd, right? So within a week to 9 days, they caught the guy. They caught the shooter, the alleged shooter, in Altoona, Pennsylvania. So here's what doesn't make sense to me, right? So the guy comes to New York around the 24th, right? The guy's name is Luigi Mangione or Mangione, something. Is it's a real Italian name, from Baltimore, and he comes to New York on the 22nd, 24th of November, and he stays there for 10 days, right? Now, like his original stay was going to be like 5 days to the 29th, because that's when UHC had delivered their, quarterly year-end stockholder wrap-up, but they don't do it on the 29th. They do it on December the 4th. And why would they do it on the 29th? That was like a Friday after Thanksgiving. They ain't going to do it then. It doesn't make any sense. So, of course, they wait till the next Tuesday to do it. Well, he goes ahead and sticks around. Okay. He's paying for everything with cash while he's in New York. He's keeping his face covered with a mask because that's still a thing, apparently. Where, like, the only people that are committing crimes right now are wearing masks. Like, It's like the old bank robbers where they had the handkerchief tied around their face. It's like if somebody has a mask or something on, like they're up to no good. They are not trying to save themselves from disease at this point. It's just they're up to something. So that's the way I look at it now. Like if you're covering your face in public, you're doing something. So this guy has his face covered the whole time, except for one time. He pulls the mask down to flirt with a girl, right? Smiles at her, whatever. And then the rest of the time he has it covered. Right before he shoots the guy, before he goes to kill the guy, he's got to stop at Starbucks. Of course, get a little caffeine hit, get a little shot, so he's got the energy to go out there and pull the trigger and then get away. And he buys an energy bar, a Kind bar. I wouldn't even call it an energy bar. And water. Well, they get the shooting on camera. He's right in frame, perfectly in frame to get this guy. And it's 6:45 in the morning. The CEO's giving his speech at 8:30 inside the hotel, where by all accounts he's staying. For some reason, he's getting ready to give a speech in about an hour. He's outside walking the street. That makes no sense to me. We see the shooter come up. We can't see his face on this video because he's perfectly hidden. Shoots the guy in the back 3 times. In the calf once and then in the back twice, whatever. Dead. We never hear from Brian Thompson ever again. And the video that we have of the shooter, these still clips from where he went to the Starbucks, he's not wearing quite the same coat, not quite the same backpack that's in the picture of the video where the guy gets shot. So shooter makes it out of New York City undetected. Gets back on a bus, heads out, no idea where he ends up. A week later, he shows up in Altoona, Pennsylvania, at a McDonald's. An old guy with his group that just happens to be meeting there every week is able to identify this guy in the corner. Looks familiar. My golly, that looks like that guy from New York. So he calls the cops because you got the shooter from New York in Altoona, Pennsylvania at the McDonald's. Right. Now, if you were the shooter, why are you at a McDonald's? Just hanging out on your laptop, right? You went to all this trouble to shoot a CEO, and now you come back and it's like, I'm good now. I'm in the clear. It's like everybody, like your picture's everywhere. Everywhere. People are trying to figure out who you are. This guy had dropped off the grid for 3 months before this, right? Nobody talked to him, nobody seen anything. 3 months, didn't talk to anybody. 7 days later, a stranger IDs him in a McDonald's, and while he's in McDonald's, he's got a mask on again, and a hood, different clothes, but he has the gun, a silencer, like is in the video, fake IDs, and $8,000 in cash. just with him, right? So the cops in Pennsylvania pick him up for the gun, like it's a little illegal gun, because it was 3D printed, part of the barrel's untraceable. And within a week, like they're saying, oh, this is the gun. Yep, ballistics, everything points to the gun. So there's no coroner report that I can see that's readily available that you can just go find real quick. Maybe it's out there, I don't know. I would think a coroner report would be available. That doesn't need to be something that needs to be hidden, right? That should be, especially in a murder, that should get out. The CEO is buried in a private ceremony back in Minnesota in the week after. So declared dead. Has to go through a court because you got to get the bullets out of the guy so that you can do the ballistic testing, right? ship him off. He gets buried. That's the end of story. Private ceremony, so no cameras. He was shot in the back, in the calf, so this should be open casket, I'm guessing. No reports from anybody. They pick up the guy at the McDonald's. Lawyers adamant that we're not extraditing him back to New York. Because he didn't do anything. This guy didn't do anything. All of the evidence looks like it could be him. But there's also some evidence that really looks like it's not him. Because the picture in the Starbucks is not this guy. The outfits that he was wearing the whole time in New York is not the outfit the shooter was wearing when he took the shot. The backpack, like you can clearly see, it's gray straps. In every picture, he's got a black strap backpack. The backpack they picked him up with, was it black? Was it white? The one they found at Central Park, is that the same backpack as what was in the shot? Like, is he carrying the other backpack in this backpack? Like, I mean, it's possible, but everything is just going to be circumstantial in my mind. Like, he could have been there. It looks like he might have been there. Okay, there's a video of somebody shooting him, but it doesn't quite, like, these eyes don't look quite the same. And the whole time the CEO is supposed to testify next week about insider trading that went on with his company because the company was getting investigated. He sold $15 million in stock. The stock took a tumble. He got sued by a pension fund out of New York, like a teacher's fund or a miner's fund, some type of retirees fund came in and was suing him because of the stuff that he did. They also got it wasn't fish. There was a records breach. Electronically, there's an electronic breach of the company in February of this year. They didn't release that right away when it happened. Instead, they went out. They found a company that could come in and beef up their cyber security, fill up the holes. And that just happened to be a company that Nancy Pelosi and her husband had bought stock options in the week, like a couple of weeks right before this happened. So did they have information ahead of time? So there's this large web of insider trading that's kind of all kind of hinged on this guy and what he knew, what he did. He's dead. So now none of that's going to come out. Everybody else would just be like, well, I don't know. I don't know what he knew. I didn't know all that. And they're innocent, right? Nancy Pelosi's like this. The shooter doesn't quite look like him. Now he gets off. It's just, I mean, it's like somebody was doing a work problem. Like, they give him a work problem. It's like, how do we kill the CEO of a healthcare company before he testifies to the Department of Justice? And it's like, oh, I know. We'll do this. And it's like, okay, that's the answers to the question. But show your work. And then they went to show their work, and it's like, kind of, jump from spot to spot. And it's like, I don't know, but like, he's dead. So we're clear, right? Like, that was the main goal. Like, we solved the problem, but how the problem was solved is, boy, you can look at it and go like, this does not match. You did not do the work correctly for this. Yeah, this is not clean. But it's such an odd situation, right? Because journalists got to report what the police tell them, right? The police got to go out. They got to find a guy. Like, you shot a CEO. You can't just walk around and shoot a CEO of a company. And this is like a top 6 company or top 14 company worldwide as far as market cap goes. So there is no way we can let a rando go around and shoot CEOs like this. Like, you are going to be brought to justice. We gotta get that. Otherwise, it's just, free for all. But this is like also the worst company as far as denial of claims go. So, like, there's not much sympathy for the guy, unfortunately, that got killed. It's crazy. What a mess. I don't know. Like, my head's all over the place with what it could be. Like, could he have been in on it? But then didn't really pull the trigger. You know, did he pull the trigger and make it look so sloppy that there's all this stuff? It's like, well, it wasn't me, because that's not me. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be copycats, because it's not clear exactly what happened. And he's denying the crap out of it, which, yeah, I mean, that makes a ton of sense, because that picture's me, but that's not me. I didn't do that. Yeah, I was there, but I mean, I was actually there till the 5th. I didn't even leave till after that. I don't know. I guess we'll see where it ends up. All right, well, that's it for today. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And stay COVID free. Later.